everyone. All right, well, here we are Wednesday morning, and I'm finishing the day up $30,000. I'm up 35,000 on ENTX, and I'm down 5,000 on MOXC. So $30,000 green on the day. But on ENTX, that was our leading gapper in the entire market this morning, gapping up 60% with well over 10 million shares of volume. Right now, as of coming up 10:30, it's at 88 million shares of volume. It's gonna be at 100 million real quick. This is a high volume stock, which is great. High volume, big rate of change, that means I can trade it with big size. And I got myself up $45,000 today on ENTX at my high, and then I gave back 10,000 on that choppiness and false break that happened around $8.50. So, I traded all the way until I had that loss, gave back about 25% of my profit, and at that point said, all right, that's it, I'm done, I'm walking away. So walking away with 30,000 in my pocket. Now I could have stopped when I was up 10,000, but I kept trading. I could have stopped when I was up 15, I could have stopped when I was up 20, I could have stopped when I was up 25 or 30, I could have stopped when I was up 40. I was up 40 in my main account, and 20 in my main account and 20 in my IRA. It was a nice look, 20 in both accounts, but went for that one next trade. And the fact is, had it worked, I probably would have been up 25 and 30,000 in each account and gotten myself up to 50,000 or 60,000 on the day. So I keep trading until I start to give back profit. And today I made a little bit more profit than yesterday before I started to give some back. So I'm finishing the day with a little bit more today than yesterday. But I do recognize that these last 2 days, although they've been really great, are essentially digging myself out of the hole from last week. I lost 37,000 last Thursday, and then I lost 25,000 on Friday. So I had 2 big red days back to back. So, yesterday and today make back most of that, but then I also lost 10,000 on Monday. So I need one more good day to get myself back to whole. So 3 red days, each day was basically my daily average gain in loss. So it's gonna take 3, decent days to make back those 3 days. So that basically creates 6 days that are just a wash, right? 3 days down, 3 days back forward. So, maybe by the end of this week, I'll be sitting almost the same place I was towards the middle of last week before I had those red days. But that's the way it goes. It's part of trading. As you know, I hope, trading is risky. Most beginner traders lose money, and you should assume as a beginner that you will also lose money, that my results are not typical. And so with the assumption that you'll lose money, you should be trading in a simulator before you put real money on the line. Now, something that's exciting that's going on right now, on July 6th, right now we're doing our summer school program, and you're welcome to join it if you'd like for the Warrior Starter or the Warrior Pro course. And on July 6th, I'm gonna begin a new small account challenge with 2,500 bucks. So, my positions today were 25,000 shares. That was sort of an average position, 25,000 shares. Now, on a $7 stock, we're talking about $150,000 of capital on the line. I'm gonna be starting over with 2,500 bucks. So I will have leverage, but I will not have the level of leverage or buying power that I have today. So in about a week and a half, this new small account challenge will begin. And I hope that we do have this kind of market, because if I can have a couple of days in my first week where I make $100 or $250, the account's gonna start growing really quickly. As the account grows, the buying power will also increase based on the leverage. And so it'll allow me to build up my equity, build up my $2,500 balance as quickly as I can. So that's coming up soon. If you'd like to be watching over my shoulder while I'm trading, we'd love to have you part of the classes at Warrior Trading, part of the Warrior Pro classes. So check them out if you haven't already. I'll be talking a little bit about the layouts that I'm going to be using, the broker that I'm going to be using, the hotkeys I'll be using, everything else. So all those nitty-gritty questions I will be answering during the small account challenge. So I hope you guys are tuned in for it. That's going to be coming up real soon. And I hope you enjoyed today's recap. It's a little bit of a shorter one, but breaking down the trades on ENTX and MOXC. All right, so I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow. All right, so I'm gonna do a recap here. Up on ENTX, $35,000, up 30,000 on the day. I was up 40,000, and then I lost about 10,000 on my last two trades. This candle, what a huge and violent rejection. So on that trade right there, I was in it. I had bought, where was this? I had bought right in here for the break through 40. And I was looking for the squeeze up to 60, what we got right here. But then I stopped out right here for an $8,000 loss. It dropped down. Then it rips back up, and I got back in right here and sold for profit, but then added back at 50 for continuation, and a $1 drop, $1 a share. So lost another $3,000 on that. So, you know, I don't know. This is, sometimes you get later into the day and you start getting this choppiness and you overstay your welcome. But you never know. At the same time, I was up 40,000 when I took this trade, this one right here, and had it given us that nice quick break of 40, it could have put me up 45, 50,000. You know, so I don't stop until I start giving back profit. But once I start giving it back, then I have to say, all right, enough's enough. I want to walk away with money in my pocket. So finishing about the same as yesterday. Yesterday was 27,000, today's 30,000. But 35,000 from ENTX, which was our leading gapper, gapped up 60% this morning. It's a 6.3 million share float. It has 76 million shares of volume right now at 10 a.m. I'm sure it'll have over 100 million shares by the end of the day. So very high volume, great liquidity, no problem getting filled with big positions. And this was the big one for me. So lots of trades on it. We got a fantastic red to green move here, break a VWAP into a halt up that gave us this squeeze up to 850. We had some really nice action on it pre-market, consolidation in the 650s, 660s, then the breakout up to 7. The pre-market high was around 715 or 720. It dipped at the open, surged up to a high of 740, pulled back pretty hard down to a low of about 660. And then off that level, we got the break back through VWAP and the curl higher. So overall, some great opportunities on ENTX, but also a tricky one. And, you know, I made money on it, but then gave back 25% of what I made. So I guess that's part of trading, but that was that. And then MOXC, I lost 10,000 on this earlier this week, and I lost another 5,000 on it today. This stock is going to go on my no trade list. I just am not able to trade it. It's just too choppy. So I got in here for the break of 20, stopped out. It comes right back to 20. I didn't get back in. It flushed again. Then it came back up, broke 20, and then flushed again. So this is just a stock that for whatever reason is extremely choppy. And so it's going on the no trade list for me. So I won't trade that one again. But ENTX was overall good. I don't like seeing that type of big red candle right there. And I would have loved to have finished up $37,000 or $40,000 today. You know, I know that I'm still trying to recoup some losses from last week and early this week, but $27,000 yesterday plus $30,000 today, that's some great progress. It's almost $60,000. Probably will be 50 something in the last 2 days after commissions, 52, 55, whatever it is. So that puts a really nice dent into the damage from last week. I had one $37,000 red day, so I almost had recouped that entire day just on today's profits, but not quite. So, it's hard to completely separate myself from the shadow of the losses from the previous days or weeks, but I'm recouping well, and I think if I can have 2 more decent days this week, I'm going to finish this week in really good shape on my P&L, and I should be, pretty close to back to square from the previous week. So the thing is, that means if last week, if this week just makes back last week's loss, then it's like the last 2 weeks are kind of like, they're just a wash. They don't contribute a lot to this month's profit. So I have the first week, which was good, and then I'll have the last week of the month. So That, unfortunately, is sometimes how it goes with trading, that you have a red day or a red week, and then you end up spending a couple weeks recouping those losses. So, but in any case, it's great to see that we're having better momentum. I'm very happy with that. Having the leading gapper not only hold up well, but be the stock that I'm up the most on is exactly what I like. $35,000 of profit on ENTX. That is fantastic. And, yes, it was $45,000 of profit. I overstayed my welcome a little bit, but, I know when to cut my losses. If I was still holding those positions, those big positions that I had up here, I'd be down $25,000 on it. So all of a sudden I'd have given back more than half of my profit, and I'd be thinking about when am I going to go red? So you have to not get too attached to a position where you let your emotional attachment override the logic of you just need to cut the loss. It's not emotional. Just let it go. You can always get back in. And I that was the same with MOXC. I cut the lost $5,000 on it, and then 2 minutes later I made $10,000 on this trade right here on ENTX. So just ruthless. Just cut the loss, let it go, and then go to something else. The problem for me comes when I have a position both in my retirement account and in my main account. So maybe I have a position in my retirement account for kind of a bigger move, and then I'm actively trading in my main account. So I have sort of two strategies that I'm implementing at the same time. And then a stock goes against me, and now I'm like, wait, I'm in this double size because I'm long twice, and now I'm starting to not want to just panic flush market out of it, but can I manage it? Can I average down? And that starts to get into trades where it just becomes more difficult to move quickly. And so that comes with the territory of trying to step up to the plate and take bigger positions and manage two accounts, a retirement and a main account at the same time. So that's a challenge that others may face, but I would say that trying to trade in two accounts is definitely difficult and probably not the best way for most people to approach trading. And look at this. This dropped down to $18 and is now back up at the high. So it keeps tempting you to get back in, and then I guarantee you it breaks, and then it's going to do another 1 point flush. So I'm not touching that one. All right. So anyways, so that's my day today. It's only 10 a.m., but I'm going to take the money off the table and live to trade another day. So 2 back-to-back solid green days, and the market, it seems hot right now. So I don't see any reason why I shouldn't be able to have some good trading here for the rest of the week. Even if this ends up being choppy for the rest of the day, the fact that it gave us such wonderful opportunities pre-market and at the open, that's more than enough. One stock like this a day, up 65% on 100 million shares of volume, that's enough for me. That's all I need. Now, a few years ago, this would have been extremely rare, but in this market, we're seeing this more and more. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's it. That's it for me, and I'll be back first thing tomorrow morning. Yes, small account challenge is starting in July. In the small account, my approach on this wouldn't have been a lot different in terms of I still would have been, probably actively trading it maybe on the first day. The first day with a small account, because it's so important to just get green, I would probably have been very focused on the first entry, which was for the break right here. And then that's my entry, and then wanting to get a little bit more profit on it, maybe in selling up in here rather than holding like into the open. So maybe a little bit different on the first few days, but after I've had a couple of green days and I'm starting to build a little bit of a profit cushion, then I'm gonna start scaling in and out, pretty much in the same way as I do today. And maybe slightly less because commissions are a bigger factor, but still quite a bit. So small account will be $2,500. And that'll be July 6th that I start. All right, so with that, I'll let you guys go. Have a great rest of the day. Get into those summer school classes. Jess is gonna do a QA session, so stay tuned for that, and I will see you in the morning. And that right there was an entire video with no ads. I don't monetize my YouTube channel with video ads, which means you guys get to enjoy the content. But do me a favor, please hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up and let YouTube know that this channel is the channel to watch if you wanna learn about day trading.